everyone. Welcome to Boy on the Beard. I'm Boyo. This is the Beard. B, how you doing tonight?
Not too shabby. Got the kid down.
Hell yeah.
Ready to talk some football with the lads.
Yeah, we got Tom in here today. Really stoked. Big Bears guy. How you doing, Tom?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys. How we doing?
Doing all right. Cannot complain. Not on a day like today. So, yeah, Tom, starting us off. Big Bears guy. Origin story. Where did it start?
Yeah. So, Dad's a Bears fan. I've been born and raised Eastern Iowa, right on the Mississippi River. So you pretty much had to choose between the Packers up north or Chicago, and just followed Pop's ways. I was born actually the December after they won their only Super Bowl. So of course, everything was riding high early in those days, and I've been kind of waiting for my time to come. But yeah, followed basically my dad is how it started.
Fair enough. Who are your go-to players over the years? Who are you big fans of?
Oh yeah. So first and foremost, I think Hester is the guy of my lifetime, just because anytime he would touch the ball, it's about as exhilarating as it would get. Still, probably one of the most euphoric moments and probably the height of my fandom was when he returned the Super Bowl kick, and then, as you all know, it went downhill from there. So Hester is first and foremost. Urlacher, of course.
Yeah.
But like sneaky ones, I always love Peanut Tillman too. The Peanut Punch.
Yep.
Those are some fun defenses you think on. And then currently, and I'm sure we'll get into it more, but Justin's got to be the guy, right? So.
Yep.
Yeah. They have some decent players on defense though too. I think Brisker and Jackson are kind of nice to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, outside of that, there's I guess not that much to be stoked about the defense. That was a bad defense last year.
Yeah, they were depleted everywhere in terms of they gutted the roster from all the dead cap that they had. Cutting Khalil Mack, big Roquan, that whole deal. Yeah. I liked the deal in the time because it seemed like they weren't going to get to side, so to get a second round pick for him ahead of time, but they spent that money, to your point then, on Tremaine Edmonds. I think he's going to be good for the defense. And that secondary as a whole, I think, is the strength of the team. But building through their trenches is going to be the problem. They have a big problem with defensive end still. They drafted tackles, but, early on it's hard for a young tackle to really make a huge impact. So those guys will need a little bit of a learning curve. But, we're young and feisty, I think.
Love it.
Yeah, I definitely got some. I think they picked up let's see, 1, 2, 3 offense, and then everyone else is that defensive line, linebacker area. I think they did not get to the quarterback at all last year.
Worst in the league, I think.
Yeah, in weeks 9 through 18, they were last in almost everything. To be fair, on the defensive side of the ball, so. They got a little bit of work to do, but I think they picked up some decent guys. You talked about Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards. I think is going to be a really good guy from Philly as well. And then you got, DJ Moore coming in from.
How about
from
that?
Carolina.
Right?
Yeah,
a bona fide one. The best part about him coming in, I don't know if he's a tier high of the number one wide receiver of the, the Devontae Adams of the world, the. DKs or the Jamar Chases, but he's certainly a bona fide wide receiver one, and it helps just put everyone else in a slot. Darnell Mooney now can be the number 2, a better suited role for him. Claypool is going to be that 3 and more of a gadget guy, taking those screens and the long passes. So I think not only is DJ proven he can get stats. He's been over.
And he can play terrible offensives too.
Terrible offenses. He's going to get you that, but I think just it brings the offense a little bit more stability all around.
Yep.
Yeah. You talked about the Justin being your guy. I've seen a video of you going absolutely bonkers on draft day. And to be fair, I think we talked about this before. Being an Iowa fan, you saw Justin Fields do a lot of nasty things to Iowa over the years. So is that where it comes from?
That and just going into the process, we were in the 20th slot, so I knew Lawrence wasn't going to be the guy. They already talked about Wilson going to the Jets at 2, and it was either Mac Jones or Trey Lance at 3. So as a Bears fan, you're thinking, all right, we need a quarterback. Can we get up somewhere to that Fields territory and, going through the process, seeing how well he did in interviews and the stats speak for themselves. I mean, he was hanging up 50 on pretty much everybody each week with those offenses, and how well he played in those big games. I mean, the Clemson game against Trevor Lawrence when he went toe to toe and took that big shot, and they end up winning that his senior year or his junior year. So he played in big games, and he had the stats, and I just knew where we were slotted. He was the guy I was kind of had an eye on, and like wishful thinking. I didn't think it would happen at the time. So when I saw they traded up, that's when the encouragement starts getting there, and you're saying, all right, they got to go him, right? They're not going to get Mac Jones.
Please not Mac Jones. Please not Mac
Jones. That's what I was saying. I go, man, how boring would that be, right? I've seen that enough. So at least he brings some sizzles, the other part. I was like, Fields, he's going to bring some excitement to the offense. It's some fun watching. So I was excited, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, really, after recapping some of the Bears games here last year, I mean, they were not good, but I mean, you're watching Fields, and you're like, well, at least we got him to watch. Velus Jones, he kind of turned it on at the end of the year with some of these nice kick returns. Kind of started off dodgy, looking like Sky Moore a little bit with a couple muffed punts. But I mean,
no doubt.
I mean, he had a couple 40 yarders quite a few times in those last couple games. So, I think you had alluded to it prior to getting on here. Special teams was decent. It was the defense that kind of ruined them. I guess going after recapping from last season, I guess going into the season, what were you really stoked about in regards to the Bears last year?
So last year, do you mean going into the year, what was I looking forward to?
Yep.
Going in? So I knew it was a breakdown year. I knew it was all, they tore everything down, had $90 million in dead cap. So it was going to be a tough year from the start. I wanted to see Fields in a professional offense because our guy, Matt Nagy, love him or hate him, probably love him now in Kansas City again, right? Just he didn't tailor the offense to Fields. So it was apparent from the start that the GM, Ryan Poles, the coach, the offensive staff as a whole, Getsy and Eberflus were really actually going to tailor the offense to him. And it took a while. I don't think until week 4 or 5 when they played New England is when they kind of figured out, all right, we need to actually lean more on his legs and get the ball out quicker. That was the most exciting part. And then just seeing the young guys. When you go into a year as low expectations as I've ever had, just knowing what we were kind of get into, I would say it sounds funny, but the Bears probably had the second most successful season when you think about coming out with a number 1 overall draft pick. That's just me trying to paint it with rose-colored glasses, but that package certainly set them up for the future. So if you're not going to win the Super Bowl, might as well get the number 1 pick, right, and still have your quarterback. So we'll see.
Yeah, damn near put a statue of Lovie Smith out front after what he did at the end of the year. So
his best win yet for the Bears was that week 17. I couldn't believe I watched it live, and the pass from Davis Mills was still something that I cannot believe. So.
Yeah, that's crazy. This year I think they got 32 mil in cap room. They got 96 mil next year. I think they got two first round picks here next year. The Carolina pick. To be fair, I mean those could easily be top 20 picks. You could get some decent out of them, but
that's going to be a top 10 pick.
Both of them.
I'm hoping. I think the Panthers.
Maybe not the Bears.
Strong.
I think the Panthers pick's going to be. I think the Bears are going to do better than the Panthers, in my opinion.
Beard, I love you. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm being optimistic because I think it's going to be fun actually rooting against, having a team to root against for, like deliberately seeing them lose knows your direct success there. I think they have a strong team. It may, if Bryce Young breaks down, that may where it falls apart. I could see them both being top 20 picks to your point. Bears, I could still see them 10 to 15 range. If things don't fall the way, but either way, it's still going to be some good building blocks for the future.
Yeah. That I think the DJ Moore. I'm really stoked to see that combination. Giving it up. I'm wanting DJ Moore and Justin Fields on my team next year.
I will say the beat writers, and again, it's OTAs, right? No pads, no pressures, nothing. But everybody's saying the connection between those two is strong. 1 to 2, DJ to Justin to DJ is really strong, and the rest of the receivers are not being apparent. So it seems like Fields is leaning on him some. I would, if I was, and I usually stay away from drafting my Bears because I don't want to root too hard or get too against it. But if I was, I'd at least take a look at DJ for sure. I think he's going to get a lot of targets.
That's fair. B, what you got for him?
Yeah, like I said, loving the DJ Moore pick or the trade, getting that. He's fringe top 10 fantasy wise.
Right in that range, yeah.
He's either fringe top 10 or right below that, the second tier guys that you would get. It all comes down to that O-line. That was the issue last year. He was running for his life more often than not. We got Darnell Wright from Tennessee, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, they took him 10th, which
he's for sure playing right tackle.
Right tackle, yeah.
Okay.
They slot him in day one. They didn't do have him start on the second team or anything, or have him try left. They just slot him first team right tackle right away.
Gotcha. And then do they pick anything else up on the line or
the line?
Yes.
No, they picked up the Nate Davis was a guard from Tennessee that they snagged, but nothing else in the draft.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Nate Davis is 26, I think, and he's been playing.
He got a good deal from him. I think $10 million a year or something, and he should solidify that. I think he's going to play right guard too, so he'll be right there with Darnell. And then they're going to move Cody Whitehair at least to start as the new center.
Love it.
Okay.
I was just about to ask you if you still had white hair. K-State, let's go, baby.
Yeah. I figured you guys would be
my boy. One of my O-line boys. So. Yeah.
He's been steady forever. He has, he's had a Pro Bowl season here or there, but he's at least steady. I think he'll be good as their center. And then on the left side, it'll be Braxton Jones again this year, which he showed promise as a rookie 5th round pick left tackle last year. You're hoping another year in the offseason gets him stronger. That was his biggest problem with the bull rush is what gave him the most problems, I think, just throughout the season. Even he would say that. And then Tevin Jenkins is actually moving to the left side. He was a right guard. Now he's over on the left side. And he actually, if you look at PFF and some of those rankings, say that he was their best lineman last year. He just needs to stay healthy too. But I think overall, the right pick helps. I think their depth's a little bit better. And at least they'll give Justin a chance this year.
Yeah. And was Tevin Jenkins the first round last year, or was he the second round?
So
I know he was early.
2 years ago, he was a second round pick.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I know they were talking about him. I remember that draft class. I was hoping the Chiefs were looking at him as well because I liked his tape, especially since he's an Oklahoma State guy. Seeing him in the Big 12 a lot. Loved his game. The offense it's going to come down to can they protect him long enough to make the plays that they need to make. Again, you haven't had a receiver like DJ Moore. It's been a hot minute. I wouldn't even put
Alshon.
Alshon Jeffrey with Cutler. That's probably the best.
Had a good first year with Mitch. I think he had 1,200 yards. Was strong. They peppered him a lot, but I think DJ is in between that mix of Alshon. He could kind of take over a game. Same with Brandon Marshall. Allen would have those good games, but wouldn't be. He was a wide receiver 1, but definitely a lower tier. And I think DJ is kind of more in the middle. Hopefully, he's closer to the Alshon.
I'm with you. I think DJ Moore's super upgrade over Robinson. In my opinion, completely different players.
No doubt.
Robinson's more of a go up and get it guy. DJ Moore's got better footwork, better route running, can get some space
after the catch.
I just never really liked Allen Robinson. I liked him his first year with the Jags. He was really good, and then the ACL I think just kind of stunted his career, kind of made him a couple steps slower than what you saw the rookie year with him. It just was never the same. Smith was a big guy on him last year for fantasy for whatever reason.
Okay, to be fair, I didn't think the Rams were going to be that bad.
Was that a top six?
Yeah, right.
Was that a top 6 pick? 7, 8?
It
It was bad. It was bad.
That was pretty popular, though. I mean,
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know why it was popular, but yeah.
Because the Rams were supposed to be better than that.
The contract he got was
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. It's more that's in like a OBJ contract that he got that he shouldn't have got. But yeah, loving the trade. You didn't need to use the number 1 on a quarterback. I don't think you were going to use the pick for. You could have gotten the edge in Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't really feel like that was that big of a need.
At that point, I always think on a bad team, and it's different. Building a foundational defensive end is big, but for a bad team, a stud defensive end is like a good closer on a bad baseball team.
Correct.
Right? You're not going to use them a ton, so to get all those assets, to get DJ Moore out of the deal as well. I mean, you got a 2nd round pick this past year with them.
You got
another one coming in another year. So I mean,
on that
it was
deal.
a
It was. When that came out, I was like, "Are you?"
It was ridiculous.
That's absurd. But yeah, like you said, defensive end. You'd love to get one, but I think Will Anderson's gonna have a great career. I don't think he's going to be a Joey Bosa or.
I agree.
One of the big DNs that you see, like he won't be a Khalil Mack. He won't be the big
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
I think he'll be sturdy.
Yes.
Right, he'll be good in pass rush. Downs, he'll be a really good run defense guy. I'm sure he's awesome in the building. That was what everyone was saying. He's Alabama's best leader of all time, Nick Saban said. So I think he's definitely there. The Bears just had too many needs to use that as a luxury pick.
Yeah, especially when you guys are a couple years away from where it is. I feel like you're probably 2-3 years away where it's like, okay, we have the team. We could actually do this thing.
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it, all that stuff. So, yeah. I think you got to build around Fields, keep getting that line better, give him some weapons, which you traded for Claypool last year. Get the DJ Moore. In the
Jury's
trade.
out on that for sure with Claypool, but he was hurt. You're hoping a year of off season gives him some familiarity. He's been injured in OTA, so that probably hasn't helped any. But the front office and polls is certainly giving Fields over time, right? You can't build it overnight, but I think they're staggering it in and starting to give them enough where you can at least give them a true evaluation. Because last year, it's hard to really see.
Yeah, you threw him in the fire. Hey, you're R1, and you haven't played or practiced with us.
I have no idea what the looks like.
Here's your couple routes that you can learn, and then we'll try and then But the only thing I didn't like about that trade was the pick. I feel like 2nd round was way too high. I would have gone 4th. Maybe, I don't know.
There were rumors out there that the Bears originally offered the Ravens pick that they got, so that lower of the 2 2nd-round picks. But some people said out there that the Packers were heavily involved in Claypool, so the Bears had to sweeten the deal to get it. Had they known that it was going to be the number 1 pick in the 2nd round, maybe they don't make that deal. I was happy at the time just because it made sense, give them something, but looking back now, you'd kind of say it. Still wait and see.
Yeah. Well, you had to do something offensive wise. Essentially, it was Mooney, Fields, and then Montgomery get 2 yards on every run because
cloud dust.
So you go out there and get another weapon. We'll see what he does this year. I like having him and then DJ Moore on opposite sides. I think Mooney will be the slot and he'll thrive in that position. He's a little, in my opinion, fast, twitchy guy. Love that for him. Running back wise, crapshoot right now.
I think Khalil.
It's going to be a competitive room.
No, I get that, but I think Johnson's going to take over, in my opinion.
Roshan?
I think,
So I actually see it with so they signed Deontay Foreman. He had a productive year. He actually had as many yards.
He had a great year after CMC
Montgomery.
Yeah.
Right. So he's backed up CMC. He backed up Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Backed up Lamar Miller way back when Lamar Miller was good with the Texans. So he's always been in that kind of timeshare, so he's actually familiar with that anyways. But I could see him being that, first, second down back, or get 40% of the snaps or 50% of the snaps. And then Herbert, like you said, Alex, is definitely a home run guy, but not very good at pass protection. So I think Herbert's definitely going to get some stuff there too. And then Beard, I think you brought up Roshan Johnson earlier, the 4th round pick. Everyone's talking like
he's the next thing.
They want the Dodgers.
He's him.
They're saying, well, not just even from a talent standpoint, but the coaches are making it seem like he is the most perfect citizen, and if they all had daughters, they would want Roshan Johnson to marry their daughter. So they're really saying he's going to be a foundational Bear, even if he's just a third down back and a special teams guy to start. But he's getting a lot of good hype. They're saying he's taking well in OTAs, but I think it's going to be that kind of timeshare, and I think that's how the modern NFL is moving. I mean, everybody's got to have that. Yeah. Three or four different backs just to keep them fresh and keep them running.
Yep. I don't like the workhorse 3-down back. Unless you just get a freak talent. And
unless you have McCaffrey.
That's few and far between. That's McCaffrey. Yeah. I think Bijan's going to be that guy.
It's a dime breed.
Saquon.
It's very minuscule of guys that you're like, okay, great runner. He can see the holes. Good cutting. He can actually pass block. He's good with his hands. He can receive dump offs or make routes out of the backfield. Yeah, very minuscule.
Or split out wide. That's where I think the Saquons and especially Bijan Wang went top 10, and Chris McCaffrey. You can split those guys out in the slot.
You go five. You go five wide,
causing more problems. Right,
but that's few and far between. So unless you get that generational talent, that's, I would say Bijan Robinson. The last one before him was Saquon 4 years ago. So it's like every 4 years.
Zeke too.
Yeah,
Zeke was a nut.
Zeke was. He made sense at the time, I thought, when the Cowboys drafted him too. But to your point, Beard, you have to be top
It's
tier.
Every 4 years where you're going to get that guy. I mean, you think about DeAndre Swift, he could have been that guy, or Jonathan Taylor could have been that guy, and then obviously the Chiefs wasting a first-round pick on Clyde. Didn't ever see that with him. Normally, when you're drafting and you're using a first-round pick on a running back, you're looking for the 3-down guy that you. That's what you're hoping for. That's the only reason why you should ever draft a running back in the first round,
right?
Because as you see. Chiefs, Pacheco, 7th round, dude's a stud in the running game.
It's everywhere.
Other teams have those scenarios where you have late running backs in later rounds is where it's at right now. Essentially, you can just have a late round pick at running back, play him for 4 years, and then start the process.
Find another one.
Yeah, start the process over again. I was going to ask you, how do you feel about Montgomery go?
So they tried to sign him. Apparently, he kind of stuck his nose up at him and said, I want to go to the Lions because they're more of a winning franchise. He got a decent coin. I liked him as a player. But again, what we were previously talking about, I liked him because he brought it every week. You knew he was it was fun seeing him run and always avoid at least one tackle or, pick up those extra 2 or 3 yards. But running backs are a dime a dozen. So if we're not having to spend and I like our running back room even more this year, to be honest, just with having that versatility, having a little bit more, because Monty's not really a third down guy. He's improved over his first few years of catching out of the backfield, but he's your first down, second down. And he wasn't even that great in the red zone, to be honest. There was too many times where we just couldn't convert in certain areas down there for one reason or other. A lot of that could be the line too, but it's sad to see him go because the effort he gave. But I'm also not hurting from looking at our depth.
Yeah, and you're not spending what do you get? 18 mil, 20 mil?
Six and a half a year, I think.
6 a year,
which is kind of nuts because they I mean, they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know. I think
Well,
he's
he
gonna
probably
be.
didn't expect that either. So
I don't
No
know.
way.
And I think
No
if
way.
you're Lions, I don't think it makes any sense. Okay, you get rid of DeAndre Swift, you get rid of
Mhm.
Jamal Williams, you pay this guy $6 million a year. Couldn't you have just done the same with Jamal Williams and gave him like half if you're going to be drafting Jahmyr Gibbs?
yeah,
I mean, draft night's going to be a different story, but I mean, the guys in the Lions room were so amped to get Gibbs.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They had to have known they're going to pick. Why would you pick up Montgomery for $6 million a year? He's making as much as Eckler. That's nuts.
I want to say Jamal Williams is in that same boat with New Orleans, right? He got something.
The Saints,
He
yeah.
got something close to that.
Did he?
I feel like it's just a very weird scenario. Like hey, we're gonna trade up or trade down. Jahmyr Gibbs is our guy at what was he 12?
Yeah, 12 or so. It makes you wonder, did they get caught with their pants down at 6? Because if they were looking for maybe Witherspoon or some guy at that point, then falling out and then saying, okay, what are we going to do now? Because when you look at their Lions draft as a whole, I mean, taking my Iowa guy, Campbell at 18 or whatever they took there. And then when they come back those next few rounds and you see it all come play, like, okay, this makes sense. But if Gibbs was taken in the 3rd round, you'd be happier with it.
Yeah.
And so their draft ended up looking okay, but
it was very weird. If you
Yeah.
go back and look at our draft special, I was very surprised by it. Especially trained down from 6. Like your guy got taken. Well, there's 3 QBs taken in the first 5. So who are you looking for that you decided to trade down on that you didn't feel comfortable? Did you not? And then they came back out after the draft and said, "Oh, we felt comfortable drafting him at 6 or whatever." And I'm like,
right.
obviously you didn't.
Every team says that, right?
Obviously you didn't because you traded down. Like you said, maybe it was Witherspoon. I felt in my pre-draft was I felt like they needed for sure a corner or an opposite edge or D line with Hutchinson, and so.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't take Carter. I
Yikes.
know all the concerns that came with him, but he was the guy I was praying didn't go to them at 6 because that would be a tough tandem to deal with. But yeah, I mean they took Laporta early, another of my Hawkeye guys. So, and then they got one guy late. Oh, that safety. I'm like trying to look it up now. Brian Branch. He was going to be a 1st round pick.
Oh yeah,
when you look at all the mocks anyway.
Mocks,
so when you shuffle out, and then they got Hooker, right? They drafted Hendon Hooker. So when you look at how their draft all laid out, if you could have just maneuvered the pieces and say, oh, that looks pretty okay. But to our point, with Gibbs going 12, it makes you wonder what were they looking at and such. But who knows? I'm just glad they didn't get Carter. Or I did like Witherspoon too. I feel like he's going to be a heck of a good corner.
Yeah, but
taking Jalen Carter with Hutchinson, I think that'd be a
same
nice
side.
line.
Same side. Good luck to whoever's on that side. Yeah. Going back to draft wise, love the Bears. I said if they want this to work and Fields is their guy, you gotta beef up that line. And I was expecting Broderick Jones. I wasn't expecting right tackle. I was expecting left tackle. To be honest, I didn't really know a lot of the guys from last year. So, the only guys on the line I knew were Tevin Jenkins and Whitehair. That was about my history or knowledge of the Bears line. I just knew he was running for his life.
He got hounded.
He was just getting hounded every game. It was
a lot of sacks. I mean, pounded. Yeah.
I didn't really know a lot about it. From you being the Bears guy, it sounds like the left tackle wasn't as much of an issue on the line as I probably thought. I don't know.
He was average. I would put him in the 15 to 20 left tackle range, but being a 5th round rookie, starting all 17 games, no injuries, that experience is going to go big. And every NFL guy, their biggest and the biggest jump's always year 1 to year 2 because you're in your NFL offseason program. So I think he earned enough to at least get another look. Now, again, if they saw Paris Johnson was the left tackle of the future, it sounded all the way through that Darnell was the Bears' #1 offensive lineman, which is great. You want that, and you believe in that, and I'm fine with that because at this point in the NFL, you need a good left tackle, you need a good right tackle because the TJ Watts of the world, they're going to line up on both sides if they want to. They're going to find the weak spot and wherever it is. So I was very excited when they took Darnell.
And I'm also kind of a little salty because I had Darnell as my Chiefs pick. So
He wasn't dropping that far.
His mock was late first.
It was all over the place.
So
I feel like that, and I think the one thing I thought about this year that was really, really interesting is none of these mock drafts seemed to have any idea what was happening.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
And that's so odd to me. And I mean, especially in that social media, everyone knows everything. Information's out there, but I mean, people are running smoke screens seemingly all over the place. And I thought that was actually really fun to see. I think it'd be really interesting to get inside. Maybe get some video of these war rooms that were going on. Just to hear these processes that these people were having, these conversations we're having, because it was like, I didn't know they were even in the. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but who would have thought they were going to be snagging that? So
I'd be
I don't
legit
know
if they actually did that. Like, hey, let's go into that'd be awesome.
Oh man,
it wouldn't surprise me if that is a thing later on in the next 5-10 years where it's like
even go like 3 years back, so you're not even necessarily like giving hints away or whatever.
Correct.
But the trade secrets.
Yeah, but these guys, I was I don't know who I was listening to, but they said they have the rundown. What does each GM do? What do they go for? So they have a decent idea, but I think that'd be really interesting to see. I mean, because now more and more when we get into like to dynasty fantasy football, it is interesting to hear these different constructions of teams and where they're going. To be fair, so
again, the mock drafts are just
what they're hearing.
It's guys like us that have been doing it for long, and they were former players and stuff. Essentially the same thing, right? We've never played in the NFL, but like
just bullshitting around the watering hole.
Yeah, it's they could say, or they're fan of the SEC, so it's like, love Bryce Young, he's definitely number one, or just certain guys have certain biases, so they're going to put who they think. So mock drafts are just kind of they're just iffy.
Well, that and it's line season, right? So the source of the scouts, if they really like a Darnell Wright, they're going to say, he's had a terrible offseason.
True.
Yeah, he's probably going to go in the late 20s, or if you want a guy to fall to you, you're going to try and say
mind games.
So it's hard to really know what's true and what's right. And all the new GMs this past year, they had like 5 or 6 in the top 10, I believe. So even that is unpredictable. You don't know what the Monty Ossenforts of the world are going to do, and with the Cardinals and such. So a lot of just those types of things. It was a weird year, and the depth or the number of blue chip players, as they say, was low this year, 10 to 15. So even that leads to even more
uncertainty.
So
you also got to draft for potential.
Right.
So some teams are like, we're not where we need to be to go for it. Let's get this piece, see if we can mold him into what we think he can be. Does he fit our system well? Is he a good locker room?
Exactly.
Is he a good locker room guy? Just there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we don't really see. When you look at the mocks, it's just kind of this guy's the best at
what they're hearing.
He's the best at his position. I think he should be a top 10 there. Yeah, but could not fit where team number 10 was picking. Who knows?
Yeah, that's fair. I think going forward here to next year, looking at your all schedule, how many? You start off with the Packers. The Packers at home.
See you, Aaron.
September 10th.
It'll be great.
It'd be nice to catch Jordan Love early. I think.
I thought that.
Do you? Are they taking it home the first game? They beat the Packers.
I'm going to say they are. And only because this is like the first time I've ever actually had not just a complete pit in my stomach when people ask, are they going to beat the Packers? Because 30 years of my life, it's legit been pretty one-sided, right? Like you go New Year knowing, all right, I got the Packers twice a year, right? That's Aaron Rodgers is staring at me. Before that, Brett Favre. So it's 32 years of Hall of Fame quarterback staring at you. So like you said, we're getting them at an early time. I feel like if there's ever a time to do it, it's that time, and it's at home this year. We always seem to open at Lambeau in prime time, so to actually get them at home this year, I think will also be an advantage. So give that one a W.
All right. Buccaneers, second game of the season. They have to
That's a dub,
right?
Should be right. Who's going to be quarterback?
I think Carson Wentz this week was getting a little bit of a tryout too.
Yeah,
so
he's down with Gruden. He's down with
apparently Baker and Trask just look like absolute garbage. If you're going to the bottom of the barrel and getting Wentz to come out and throw out there.
Hey, he's been a hero in the past. Chiefs. Are you going to go to that game?
I am. I'm just excited that they're coming to Kansas City. Certainly not going to pick the Bears in this one. I think they can keep it fun for a while, but I think Mahomes will certainly pull away at the end with the squad. But I'm just happy they're there.
Yeah.
Going to see them.
Chiefs always seemingly. I mean, to be fair, Chiefs always seemingly play down to their competition.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think Tennessee last year. What did Malik Willis had like 88 yards or something like that?
That was an OT game.
Great.
And that was overtime, right? I mean,
Houston overtime game.
Houston was over. Davis Mills was trashing that, and he still managed.
We just struggled with
the Colts loss.
The Colts loss.
Yeah, right? We struggled with the AFC South last year, which was the worst division in football.
It's disgusting.
Which blows my mind how
nobody
that
says that.
That was dreadful. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So maybe they catch them sleeping, but I don't think they're gonna hold.
We also would have won the Colts game if Chris Jones didn't call Matt Ryan a cracker or whatever he called him. Who knows what he called him?
All right, racial slurs here, B.
I don't know what he called him, but I'm just assuming.
I mean, it had been something pretty light. Yeah, I don't know. Broncos and Bears, game 4. They're playing in Chicago. I think Broncos are going to be good this year.
Yeah, I'm too. Give another L there. I'm going to be cautiously not Bears homer.
Okay.
Totally. And the Broncos have a good defense. Yeah. I feel like Sean Payton's going to give credibility to the offense a little bit. I think Russ will have a shorter leash, but they have talent on the outside, and that defense is pretty strong. So they give me another 2-2. Here we are.
Okay. We got Bears and Commanders. We're playing in Washington.
Dub.
Yeah, give me Fields over Sam Howell, right?
Yeah.
And it's Thursday night. We got the advantage there of having that game at home, so that travel too. But yeah, give me the Bears there, 3-2.
Okay. Vikings playing at the Bears.
I'm gonna say they split with the Vikings. So if this one's at home, give me that one. So 4-2. Is that right?
Raiders are playing at the Bears.
Who's going to be the quarterback?
That's
for the
a dub,
Raiders, right? Give another one there. Yeah. I can't believe we're 5-2 at this point. But
you're feeling good at the start of the year, and then it's going to come crashing down.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
the schedule is lenient early, but we'll see where it gets.
Yeah. Bears at Chargers, October 29th.
It's probably going to be a home game for the Bears because the Chargers, they don't have a crowd ever. But I'm not going to pick them against that. Justin Herbert is too good. Yeah. I think, honestly,
they got Kellen out there too for the new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think that will help. I think if there's a year that the Chargers actually don't knock out the Chiefs, but certainly are right there with them, I think this is the Chargers' best year. So another loss for the Bears side.
Are we 5-3 now?
Yep.
Yeah.
5-3.
Bears at Saints.
I'll give the Saints this one too, just with Carr will probably get a little stability when Michael Thomas is back and Olave is good. I mean, they still have Kamara, and the defense is okay for another year. I think the Saints are pushing the chips back every single year, and pretty soon that's going to come due. But I still think their team is strong enough to at least compete this year.
Yeah.
And that division's a crapshoot.
Another loss for the Bears.
The division is a crapshoot. I do think
it's the Saints to lose, in my opinion, but it's still a crapshoot.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Carr is a big improvement. At least you get stability. I think Carr's a top 15 quarterback. I mean, I know he's 32, but
He's safe,
Yeah.
right? He'll get it out on
I
time.
mean, that division, I feel like you can win that division and make the playoffs with a losing
7 wins.
record.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
you can be 7-10, 8-9, and win that division.
gosh,
Wasn't that the case last year? Who even
Yes.
came out last
Tampa.
year?
Tampa, and
Tampa did
they were 9-8.
Yeah.
They were 9-8.
okay,
9-8.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
but yeah,
Oh yeah, and then they had the
Or
Dallas
wait.
game that flopped.
Yeah,
With,
because there's 18 weeks now, correct?
17
18
games.
weeks.
Yeah.
17
games.
games.
Yes, they were 9-8. They had a winning record, but it wasn't great.
Okay. We got Panthers and Bears. They're playing in Chicago, November
Ooh.
9th.
This is big, right?
Yes.
This is for draft capital. So I'm going to say the Bears are up for this one even more. I feel
Should
like
be.
they're going to say we need this. This is going to help future too. So give me another W.
It's a win-win,
I
right?
think we
You
had
get
2
a win
losses.
to your record, and then you get
Yeah.
moved up in the
Hell
draft
yeah.
order.
Draft picks, right? Well, that and we're not going to lose 3 straight, at least this early. So another win there.
All right. So Bears were playing.
Although I will say, I don't want to. The Panthers, their offensive line's
Yep.
good. Their defense is good. They have their skill positions is where the problem is.
Weak.
But when you're strong up on both trenches, I feel like they're going to be competitive.
Mhm.
So I don't want to glaze over and say that was an easy win. But for this exercise, give them.
Yeah, I think
Give 'em the Bears
the
win.
key for Bears is probably going to be that defensive line. I think Miles Sanders is
Yeah.
a good pickup for the Panthers.
Mhm.
And
They're going to run the rock.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah. Frank Reich, he likes to run the rock too.
Yep.
So yeah, I would expect behind that line they'll pound it a lot too.
Should. Bears at Lions, November 19th.
I'm going to say they split with them too at some point. That's a pretty fun one. The Bears are coming off of bye,
Okay.
so you know what? Not this one. They're going to lose this one because this one's in Detroit.
Yep.
The first one is. So give them a loss there.
The next game we got Bears at Vikings. This is going to be a loss as well.
Yeah, did I give the Bears the win for the first
Yeah,
one?
Because it was home.
Yeah, so loss there. It's at home. Justin Jefferson's still going to be a problem for anybody. He torched them in both games last year.
Well, and you add Addison, so you got another weapon on offense.
Yep.
And it's going to be interesting with Cook gone. I think Madison's might be not as good as Cook, but he's still kind of up there. So I'm with you. Division-wise, I think you split versus all 3, in my opinion. Win the homes, lose the ways.
Well, I'm not teasing my Week 18 yet. We'll get to that. I'm lined up with you. No.
I think, but I mean, I think the Vikings defense trash. Everyone wants out of there.
Mhm.
I mean, I could see them being dreadful as well. I don't know.
Yeah. They did a lot of offloading with talent. Smith is
Mhm.
gone.
The other kid wants out too.
Daniil Hunter
Yep.
wants out. So I could see them going down, but they also knew that last year they were really making the most of their cap situation. I think they're kind of taking a step back. So if there was one that the Bears don't get 4th, or I could see the Vikings being bottom of the division.
Yeah.
They're what, 13-4?
Yeah.
But
they're very questionable.
But if they were the
negative.
They were the
winning
worst
margin,
13-4 team that's in the history of the NFL.
Historically,
I think they had 8 or 9 like 3-point games or 1-score games, whatever it was. They could have easily.
Well, remember the Colts game when they came back from 35 down in the third quarter, fourth
that's
quarter.
That's what happens when you try and fix teams with 38-year-old quarterbacks and thinking that's the key to success.
Yeah, keep signing Kirk. I'm okay with that. Keep signing Kirk.
No kidding. Lions. What do we got? Lions in Chicago, December 10th.
We're getting them this time. Yep, we're getting them this time. Off the bye. We beat them. We beat them once last year. No, we lost both last year, but they were both close last year. And I think we'll get this one. Give them another win here.
Those should be really fun games to watch, though. Those Detroit games are going to be absolute shootouts. I mean, yeah, Bears could be playing behind. I mean, in that dome's going to be pretty nice too for everyone, especially November 19th. No one's played in up there at that time, but I think those are going to be some fun games. Next game though, at Browns. I think that's sneaky. I think Browns are going to be good.
I'm with you. I feel like Deshaun can't be any worse
Nope.
than he was last year. Yeah, give him a loss. Just I'm not being over too much. I could see it go either way, definitely, but I think the Browns still have a strong enough defense if they can learn to stop the run, and they've plugged a lot of holes. At least they tried to get some guys up there to stop the run, because that was definitely the defense's biggest problem last
You
year.
got Smith from the Vikings.
Yep.
I saw him.
They got a few
I
guys.
saw him with Garrett.
A few
and
guys
they were
plugging
jacked
the,
about that.
the detail. Yeah, so that should be better for them there. And again, it's Deshaun Watson. So if it's the same Deshaun of last year, Bears are going to win. But you can't be anywhere.
Well, we got some more offensive
give
weapons
the Bears
this year.
Elijah Moore's going to be nice, I think.
They also added.
Yeah, I like Tillman. out of Tennessee was drafted to them, I believe. So
and
Elijah Moore, they
you got a
for,
two-time Super Bowl champ safety now, and Juan Thornhill. So
right. Leadership on the back.
There you go.
Yeah. Good man. If you guys don't smack the mess out of the Cardinals Christmas Eve,
right.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That'll be a good early Christmas gift for me.
I agree.
Another win there.
Falcons at Bears. This is New Year's Eve.
This is when it gets dirty. So I'm at the point where I always hope they make the playoffs, but I think we're a year away. I think Beard, you alluded to that too. And this Falcons game, we lost the Falcons last year as well. So I could see another loss this year. Just they add another piece. I don't think Ritter is going to be any worse than Mariota was last year. So adding Bijan to Drake London and Pitts is certainly a pretty tough team to defend. So give them.
And they were another good run team last year. They were up there with the Panthers run game wise.
Yeah, Arthur Smith always is good in the run game, right? So
then it comes down to it. Bears, Packers.
Yeah. What did I put it at? Because I originally thought I was going to give the Bears about 7 wins, but
I think
I'm
we're
feeling
over that
squirrely
now.
and saying we're going to. Yeah,
I think we're at 8 or 9.
So if I'm at
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oof.
I
didn't think you'd get this to me.
Did we give Saints a win?
Saints was a loss.
Okay, so Panthers is 6. We split the Lions. That's 7. 8.
8 with the Cardinals.
Yep,
so you know what?
Yeah, I feel like you're in a good spot. I was gonna say, in my opinion, 7 to 10 is where I had you win-wise.
Yeah. We could get 9 wins. So yeah, we're gonna beat the fucking Packers.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
Sorry for cursing, but
Love it.
I hate them.
That might cause some strife within the household, but
so she's nice, and I'm. This is my rationale. So my 35 years of being a Bears fan and all the misery that's come with it has just tuned into, if I have a boy or a girl, they will summon and be a Bears fan with me, and we will see Justin Fields ride off into the sunset with the Lombardi Trophy someday. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Is the wife a
Megan
Packers fan?
My wife.
She is.
So yeah, my wife
boy.
Megan's she's from Wisconsin originally. She's very sweet. When the Packers win, I don't hear it too much because she knows it's the same every year.
Tom.
You keep beating your little brother here. Right. She's nice. So we have a nice friendly rivalry of his baby going to be a Packers fan, a Bears fan. I actually wish I had it with me, but I actually got a Bears onesie today, a Justin Fields one. So we're kicking off there. But you know
I think
what?
you'll win that battle.
I'm there. I'm hoping. I'm not going to be too much, but anyway, that's a long way of saying Packers are going to lose twice to the Bears this year. So
Hell yeah.
let's put it
Hell yeah. So, I mean, who do you think takes that? Who do you think wins that division?
Well, geez, if I gave the Bears 10 wins, that's pretty close. I feel like they will be contending. They'll be one of those in the hunt. You know, you always see those teleprompters towards the end of the year, and everyone's in the hunt, but I could feel the Bears vying for a wild card.
I mean, NFC's
you gotta
bad.
think it's the Lions, right? You gotta think it's the Lions, right? So
I do think
with the top of the division, I feel like the Packers are a year to. It's a lot when you're recovering from perennial All-Pro top 10, top. If I didn't hate him so much, I'd probably say top 5 quarterback all time. That's a big loss. And the defense, for how many first round picks the Packers have on that defense, has always underperformed. I think part of it, and as a Bears fan, I'm happy that they've kept Joe Barry around, call the defense for so long. But I feel like it's a transition year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got that other Iowa guy, Vaness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke, he was good. He was a guy I was looking at for the Bears, wondering if we were going to go defense, he would make some sense. I hate rooting against my Hawkeyes, but he's dead to me now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I feel like he's.
No.
I just feel like he was ranked too high.
He's on trace. I mean, he's a physical freak. So I could see where it came from.
So I get that. My issue was he wasn't a full-time guy.
Yeah, the production wasn't there for sure. That's an Iowa thing, though. That is something silly. It's always been a Kirk Ferentz thing. It goes back years upon years. They play the old dudes. They let the seniors go in, and that I think really came into play with Vaness this year.
Gotcha.
Just hearing other coaches talk about it. So,
all I know about Iowa is tight end university. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O-line, we can usually get one or two hit. Like Wirfs was great.
Yes.
2 or 3 years
ago.
One,
yep.
Yeah. We'll give you some D-line, some O-line, but yeah, tight end.
Tight end university. That's where the studs come out of.
Yeah.
An ex-boyfriend came out of there, right, Smith?
Yeah, not for me. For Jess. Yeah. It was Jess dated Kittle, so I hear that once a week.
It's wild.
I think.
I'm sure
I'm just going to bring it up every time we're mentioning Iowa University for tight ends or we're talking about the 49ers.
I think Jess said she was unsubscribing. So we lost that one. Tommy talked about a big fantasy guy. What who are your sneaky picks this year?
Man, it's a little early to really jump in. I feel like this is definitely a year to really get those wide receivers. And I'm of the proponent of get Kelsey early because he just separates. He's a guy you can plug and play. He's going to get 4 or 5 at least points more than another tight end. So I'm not giving you a who's sleepers and stuff, but I feel like that's always a good strategy to go in early to do that. And I feel like we finally gotten to a point where you need to start drafting quarterbacks earlier, because if you're stuck in those middle areas, the Mahomes, the Allens of the world, they're showing that they hang up the points every week, and you can't fill around with trying to guess Tom Brady this past year and how that works out. So I feel like drafting the positions that you don't usually draft as high is a strategy this year.
Yeah.
But if we're looking sleeper picks, come back to me in a bit. But for Bears, if you have a late round pick, look at Roschon Johnson just for all that they've talked about. If you have an extra bench spot, I could see him taking over the lead role late in the year. But
he's on my board for a dynasty draft for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to think about it. With this GM drafted Roschon. I don't think he had any of the other guys. So I guess he picks up Donta Foreman, but I think Roschon, I think it's his to lose at least next year. I can't imagine that.
He's the future.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel bad not giving you any sleepers. I'm kind of looking through the list now, or just teams. Why, if we're going a little deep here, I like Jonathan Mingo for the Panthers because I think he's going to get a lot of targets for him. They draft him high, 2nd, 3rd round, big-bodied. They don't have a lot of competition in front of them, so Bryce has got to throw to somebody. He'd be a guy I'd look at too.
Yeah, for sure. You got old man, cement shoes, Adam Thielen.
DJ Chark is out there too, right?
Yes, and he's a health risk. He's made of glass, but old man, cement shoes, no route running ability anymore. Adam Thielen,
little too old. Relies on his hands.
Yeah, it's going to be in my opinion, Panthers wise, it's going to be a Mingo and Marshall show, receiver wise.
Yeah, Terrence. Yep.
Yeah, maybe Miles Sanders catches a few more balls than he did in Philly.
He's for sure going to get.
There's going to be a lot of dump
receptions. Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you got for him, B?
Not really, man. I enjoyed it. Good coming on and enjoy hearing guy with good as knowledge as me, in my opinion. Sorry, Smith.
Well, thanks.
It's been a while.
Hey, I get it. Yeah, you're hanging out with me. You look smart every week, so.
But yeah,
that doesn't happen too often, Tom.
But yeah,
so.
for sure,
Okay.
loved getting another team's perspective.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're looking for. We want to branch out and talk to more people that are fans of other teams, we talked about earlier. And you know your stuff, man. Like,
thanks.
I'm impressed for sure. So
yeah,
thanks. Yeah,
really,
happy to
really
jump back on if you ever need any draft intel.
We'll catch you mid-year after we get a few games under our belt.
Right?
See
When we're not 5-2.
Not even that, man. We got
we
got a lot of time before.
We got a lot of time. Got a lot of time.
Got a lot of time before we start actually getting into things and talking.
Can't wait.
Goals to do twice a week. So, we got probably about 2.5 months before we're gonna start trying to do twice a week. So, once a week we got, and nothing going on currently. Even sports related. It's just it's baseball now. This is the dead zone of sports right now.
I have the U.S. Open on. Luckily, we have that this weekend. But yeah, it's tough when you turn it on and all we got is the Royals playing at night. So
dead zone. We do a lot of drafts, mock drafts.
I like it.
I'll talk with Smith. See if you got time to hop on and do another episode, do a mock draft.
Yeah, let me know.
We got all day.
We can do a redraft.
That'd be great.
Dynasty. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, we could. I don't know how well an auction would work. Dynasty mock draft guys. I feel like that would be super difficult.
Yeah, it would be tough.
Especially with computers. Like, I'm gonna put this on this guy. I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. But
Snake is definitely easier.
Yeah.
If you're podding.
Yeah, but we'll definitely throw that back at you. We'll figure out something, man. I really enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Yeah,
me too.
Thanks for joining us, Tom. Appreciate it. And for the boy on beard, this is us signing off. Take it easy, guys.